Good morning, Epic 7, and welcome to day number 4 of Ancient Inheritance. We've made it to floor number 3. Here is a map for floor 3 with our pathing that'll be linked in the description for your reference. Before we jump right in, we need to collect the reward from killing the priest. That'll give me some currency and some experience points. You want to do this before you jump in because that experience points can actually push your class enhancements up. So here's the message from killing the priest, and we can now advance to floor 3. If there's anything left on floor 2 you want to grab before you go through the portal, do it, because there's no going back. Once you advance to floor 3, you're on floor 3 for good. Now on floor 3, normal boss fights and treasure chests actually have decent value, so they're kind of worth picking up. I recommend getting the ones that are on your path towards your goal, not to really go out of your way. You don't need to loot the whole floor. You'll have plenty of time next week to loot all of floor number 4, and that will give you more than enough currency to buy out the shop, as long as you pick up 1 or 2 things along the way. So that was the loot from a treasure chest. I'm going to go ahead and do a normal monster fight just to show you how similar they are and how, really, if you have the units to do it, normal monster fights are kind of better than treasure chests, especially on earlier floors. Now, normal monster fights are easy. If you have a really good lifesteal unit, you can usually solo it. Luna's not a lifesteal unit, and there are some green elementals there, so I'm going to take Conqueror Lilius along with, just to give some added support.
Give all that you have.
Now, if you fight a normal fight and you lose, you only lose 1 provision, and you can do the fight again. And unlike everything else in Ancient Inheritance, you don't lose the units. So if I did this fight and failed, I would only lose 1 provision. I could jump back in with the exact same team and do it again. So there's very, very little risk to doing normal monster fights. These units will not be available once I beat these monsters, but I can use them over and over. Like, let's say this failed. I could change Conqueror Lilius out with a Soul Weaver, and then still reuse Luna.
If you wish to live.
You can also fight the same monsters 3 times. That's kind of a waste unless you are power leveling on last floor or trying to get to a specific class enhancement level so that you can raise your classes up. I think you should probably not loot goblin up all the normal fights. Leave some meat on the bone for the other players, because once you hit the monsters 3 times, they're dead, and nobody else can hit them.
I'll make you taste despair. Not fear death. Seizing victory is seizing the future.
So I think it's pretty obvious that even with no lifesteal, no soul weavers, and running a unit that was opposite to some of the green elemental fights, with the exception of Sea Lilius' barrier, I had no real sustain in this fight, and it still cleared very cleanly. 1 more hit should do it. So you don't want to waste taking a team of 4 units. That'll just give you less units to use later. So always try to take 1 or 2 units maximum for these fights. So we got 310 experience and 91 currency. Let's compare that side by side with the chests. It's 220 more experience points for only about 49 less currency. So actually quite a bit better in my opinion, but there are a limited number of normal monster fights available, whereas the chests, everybody can open them once. So let's grab a scroll. Oh, nice, we went up a level. Deal with that later. Let's grab this scroll. Reading. All that for no real choice, but hey, I'll take the 3 enhancement points and 200 currency. Okay, I know I've got an open spot on my relics from when I went up a level, so I can go over and grab that relic shrine. You should always double check though. Before you go anywhere, make sure you have a spot available in your relic shrine, relic tree for more relics. You don't want to walk all the way to a relic shrine and find you've got no room for it. I am doing extra fights, but I'm not worried about the XP that much. I'm going to grab the 4-leaf clover and see if I can get something better in the next relic shrine. So I'm running a little low on provisions. I'm down to 45, so I'm going to pass on more monster fights. And I think I'll pass on that book as well. We'll run up here and grab the chest, though. Okay, according to the map I made, I'm on the blue team, so I will head over to the left side mana lift and see if I can kill off the mini-boss that's guarding the guild treasure chest. The guild treasure chests on floor 3 look pretty good, so we're going to collect all of them this time. The mana lifts are one way, so make sure you're done collecting things before you take them. You won't have an easy time going back the way you came. Now, let's see. I think I've got enough provisions to slide up and grab that warrior statue and still... Oh, another relic shrine. Well, I know I have room for another relic because I have a ranger boosting relic that I'm not really using, so I can replace that. Let's go up here and grab this warrior shrine first. Now before I do it, I want to max out my warrior. Before you use any statue, you want to max out the class of that statue, or you're just wasting potential. So I've maxed out my warriors, and now I can grab the statue and it will push them up even higher. Let's slide down here and grab this this relic shrine. Yeah, there's the ranger relic that I'm fine with getting rid of. It's a low level one. Let's see. Okay, the gold kettle would be nice, but we're not on floor 4 yet, so I'm not that worried about dream shards. I think I'll take the provisions. I really, the gold kettle would not be a terrible choice, and the vitality brew would also be a good choice, but the provisions I just really value because I'm trying to push further into the map. And the nice thing about the provisions is they're a one-time use relic, so that will free up a relic slot for the next relic shrine I come across. I'm down to 26 provisions now after, I should say up to 26 provisions now after taking that that relic shrine. I'll leave the book for the next guy. I think I'm good on treasure. I don't need to go out of my way for that chest. So you can see I'm skipping a lot of fights and a lot of treasure chests on the way to my goal. Your option. You can do it either way. I know that floor 4 will have more than enough chests to buy out the shop as long as I grab a few things on floor 3, and I'm kind of wanting to explore a little bit. Yeah, I think I can grab this scroll. Let me count the hexes. Let's see, let me move over here. If I go down and do the fight... let's do the fight first. So this is the Emerald Rubeta, the Emerald Green Golem. A really good team for this is Ken, Celilius, Rowana, and Acades, or Ken, Sirmia, Acades. Rowana is great because the Rubeta counters, so she's a constant source of healing. I should have taken Kitty Clarissa instead of Camilla. I thought about it, and I don't know what changed my mind, because the thing that bites me here is the Golem can defense break, and I don't really have a cleanser on my team except for Stella Harpa on Rowana, which isn't much of a cleanser. If I'd taken Kitty Clarissa, I would have had a way to better deal with the debuffs and probably could have pushed a higher score. And if I'd taken Acades instead of Rowana, she probably could have handled the healing just as well and kept the debuffs off. But this is the team I took, and it does rather well. I put damage artifacts on all 3 of my warriors, and I put Stella Harpa on Rowana to hopefully keep some of the defense breaks at bay.
Step back.
So if you hit the Rubeta, it will activate rock debris. Every third time you hit the Rubeta, rock debris turns into a counterattack. Now the counterattacks are fine because with Rowana on the team, that's a constant source of healing. So that was the second attack. Here's the third attack, and that will go into a 3x rock debris, which triggers a counter. The counter has a chance to defense break you, which can be a problem. It also strips all your buffs, which is a problem for Camilla. Again, bringing me back to thinking Kitty Clarissa might have been a better option. But I really like the reliable defense break on Camilla. The S1EE giving me a double tap off Sirmia is really nice.
I won't run anymore.
And I could S1 here, but I don't want to trigger counter and strip away my attack buff, so I'm going to use her S3, not so much because I need the healing, but because I want Sirmia to get an attack off into that defense break. And there's the attack with strip. Camilla luckily kept her attack buff, so I can do a dual hit there. I did not get the defense break, but I did get the double tap off of Sirmia. Ken, we need to use the S3 because we don't have Conqueror Lilius on the team, so I need to use his S3 to get Vigor up. Conqueror Lilius in place of Camilla is actually pretty good because Conqueror Lilius will give Ken a Vigor that can't be dispelled right from the start and maintain it, so he always has a guaranteed defense break on his hits. Speaking of defense break, I got my first one on Rowana there. Luckily he's not hitting super hard yet, but eventually he'll hit so hard those defense breaks will ruin you. I'm tempted to burn for the break, but I'll just try. Yeah, I tried just a regular S1. I got lucky and landed it. I could soul burn Ken here for the double attack, but I want to save his S2 just in case I need the defense break later. And that hit into the defense broken Rowana is starting to add up.
Now, if you don't want to get involved. Keep
So S2 into an S3. If you get a chance to soul burn Sirmia, you should do it. It does a great deal of damage. Almost 100k from a single hit. And we'll get the dual attack here. The Rubeta will counter. Hopefully doesn't strip all my buffs. Stripped all my buffs. I got one more turn of Vigor, so I'm going to save the S2. Just do an S1 here. Get a barrier up on myself. Hopefully double tap. Nice.
Let me demonstrate.
I'll use her S3 here because he's already defense broken and her S3 does pretty good damage.
I'll knock your teeth out. I'll knock you into next week.
Okay, we'll soul burn, and that lets me go into the S3. And hopefully this counter doesn't wipe my team. Oof. Okay, thankfully my S3 is ready.
Save us all. What fool dares to challenge me?
Sadly, the strip happens right before the damage, I believe. So I think even if the Rubeta kills me here, I'm not going to come back.
I won't run anymore.
Well, never mind. He stripped everything without killing. Get a barrier up on Sirmia. S2 into a soul burn S3, and the counter will probably kill her.
I'll cut your throat. We'll take you down one by one. Stay calm and think rationally. An opening.
On my way.
Here comes the counter, and there goes Sirmia. Okay, we need a defense break. Ken's got Vigor, his S2 is ready, so that's a guaranteed defense break. And without Rowana, we're not going to last much longer.
Got a long way to go, kid. I'll protect you. Advance!
I'll knock your teeth out.
I'll cut your throat.
And this should be the last hit.
Let's have a go around.
Oh, nope, I got one more. I probably should have just used the S3 because his counter was ready, so I'm not going to get to take my extra turn. And the S3 would have been higher damage than just the S2. 1.1 million though, that's pretty good for a single run on a mini-boss. Now, probably only one, maybe two more guildies need to hit that Rubeta to kill it. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it behind, let somebody else take care of it. We'll check out this scroll. Yuck. I guess I'll grab the first one because I'm stingy on provisions. You know, I probably should have skipped this scroll. It was 5 provisions I could have used to explore a little further north. I've got 5 left. That's going to be just enough to get to the mana lift and I think take it. Yeah, so that's going to advance me to the Warden Island. And my Warden is just up and to the right a little bit, so I will definitely be having a Warden fight tomorrow. That's going to end my running around for today. Let's see. Nothing else can be enhanced. I don't have any ingredients to do anything with. So yep, that's it for me. Oh, you know what? We got some gear to roll, so why don't we go ahead and see if anything good is going to come out of the rewards so far. Okay, let's see. Now let's grab these 20 sky stones from the first guild that cleared. Got just enough currency, so I think I'll grab the helmet. Helmet and the armor are pretty much the same pieces as far as stats go, but I know my Alencia could use a new helmet, so we'll see how this rolls for her. Big numbers. Right stat, but that's a minimum roll. It could be 5 to 8. So I'm not too thrilled with that, but let's see if we can do better. Another minimum roll. Lovely. Okay, that's what we like to see. Maximum, a +9 to health. And a minimum speed roll. On these, speed can range from 3 to 5. Okay, one more big roll. +8 crit damage or +9 health is what I want to see. So 4 minimum rolls and a maximum health. It's really, really hard to brick these pieces, but I came real close. That's still 70 gear score, but man, you have to put in effort to get below 70 gear score on these pieces. It's still a usable piece. It's worse than Alencia's current helm. Let's hope this ring rolls a little better. The ring's kind of a weird thing, so I'm just going to rip the band-aid off and level the ring in one fell swoop. Maybe it'll do better for me. Oh lord. 20, 40, 30, 40, 50, 69, 68 gear score. Well, it's a speed piece, so gear score is kind of weird, but I don't know, maybe I'll put this on a PvE Tamarin or something, possibly an AOL. It's kind of a weird piece. I'll find a home for it. It's just an odd piece to begin with, but it's not bad. Been nice if one more roll had gone into speed though. Anyway, lackluster gear rolling session, but hopefully your gear rolls better, and hopefully this video was enjoyable and at least a little bit informative. I hope you guys have a great 4th day in Ancient Inheritance. Have a good one.